what comes along for the ride when you fly with Voyagers. Jerry Marino.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. About 3 years ago, I moved into a condominium, sold my home and moved to a condominium project. And when I moved here, I said to myself, wow, now I don't have to worry about maintenance. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff, the gardening, nothing. I'm here. Well, I'm here now 3 years. And what did I do last year? I ran for the board of directors. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
It's a 166 unit condominium project. And now I'm not just worried about one home's maintenance and landscape and everything. I'm worried about 166 homes, right? That is what's called unintended consequences, or some people might say it is the serendipity. Valuable things you found along the way that you had not sought for. And I can use that example to talk about the serendipity of Voyagers, because we find valuable things when we join that we hadn't even expected. And what are some of those things that we find? What is the serendipity of Voyagers? Well, for one, we join to become better speakers in general. But as a process of participating, we learn. Look, today I learned about how to have better work communications. I learned about communication styles. That is a serendipity. I didn't expect to learn from other people. I already knew it myself, right? Well, after a while, you figure out you don't know all that much from what we learn from Voyagers. One time, I wanted to learn a little bit more about storytelling, and storytelling is a skill. We gain a lot of skills in Voyagers we never would have thought of. So what did I do? Well, being the student I am, I went to the library. I talked to the librarian. I said, would you come and talk to my Toastmaster Club about storytelling? She said, sure. She came and she did a pretty good job about storytelling. I foolishly went back and said, gee, this is great. Can we do something about this? Because I want to learn more. She said, sure, we can do something, and you're going to do it. She immediately whipped out her schedule. Says, what we're going to do is we're going to organize a storytelling program. You're going to recruit Toastmasters. We're going to go to libraries. We're going to train the Toastmasters, and we're going to deliver stories to our library attendees, our patrons. I didn't expect that. What did we do? We did that. We organized, I think we had about 15, 20 Toastmasters, not just Voyagers, but Toastmasters all over San Diego. They came, they learned, they delivered, and we delivered 2 seasons of storytelling to San Diego libraries. It was one of their very successful volunteer programs. Voyagers learned storytelling skills. Library patrons were exposed to stories. Families were able to come together. That was a serendipity I never expected as a result of becoming a Toastmaster and becoming a Voyager. What else do we learn? And this is very important. We learn critical thinking skills. Just imagine your feedback, the feedback you get from being evaluated, your speeches, and from evaluating speeches. You have to be analytical. You have to create a structure to give feedback. You have to create a whole framework of how you're going to deliver that, what you're going to say. Now that framework carries over into your life because you develop a structure of how to look at something and how to think critically. Critical thinking is only good on a domain basis, meaning critical thinking in Toastmasters is different than critical thinking at my job. But the general framework is similar once you know the content. And once we learn it in Voyagers, we can take that content and deliver it and use it in all situations. It's quite a skill, and it's quite a very valuable skill. What else do we learn in Voyagers that we didn't plan on? One of the things we learned is how to get to the point. Take notes, Lynn. Get to the point. We learn how to do that. We learn to ask ourselves questions. What's the purpose of my speech? What's the point of my speech? What do I want people to take away from this speech? We learn that all the time. And if we're not learning it, our evaluator reminds us of it very quickly. Get to the point, tell our story. There are a lot of wonderful things we learn in Voyagers and we acquire. Self-confidence and self-esteem is one thing we gain that we don't even think about, because when you overcome a fear, such as the fear of public speaking or the fear of delivering a specific speech, you gain confidence, you gain power, and that confidence and power flows to every aspect of your life. You don't realize how confident you become and how much more powerful just by overcoming a fear and feeling confident about delivering a speech to people you know and people you don't know. I would say the last thing we gain from Voyagers is an ongoing relationship with people we care about. I have known, for instance, Rene Ramirez over 30 years. And because of our relationship and his participation in Toastmasters, I get to be with Toastmasters. I get to be with Rene every once in a while, even when he can't hear and even when he falls asleep when I'm talking. That's all part of it. I love Rene, and I love being able to see him at our Voyager meetings. So Voyagers, the serendipity of being a Toastmaster and being a Voyager is that we do gain what we're looking for, public speaking skills, thinking skills, but we gain so much more because that's what comes along when you fly with Voyagers. Mr. Toastmaster,